Hiya, I'm going to show you this makeup look from scratch today. It's a really fresh, barely there makeup, perfect for the warm weather when you want a little bit of coverage here and there, but ultimately you want something that feels really light, so I hope you enjoy. As always, everything I've used is listed in the description of the video, so if you click to make it full screen, the title will come up along the top. Click the arrow next to it and a full list of everything will drop down. Okay, at the risk of being the millionth person to make this comment today, it is very warm, so I don't want a really heavy makeup, but as you can see, I've got some redness. I just want to kind of soften the edges. I'm going to start with a little bit of Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This is from It Cosmetics, and this is a really densely pigmented concealer. So I'm going to melt it right down. I've got a nice little chunk of it on my hand, and I'm going to really gently press this just where I want to knock out the redness. Now, I have to be honest, when I get going with this, I end up putting it in lots of places, but for now, I just want to start getting rid of any, very noticeable redness. Now, one of the things I think it's really great to bear in mind when the weather is this warm is think of maybe down the sides of the nose, upper lip, anywhere that tends to get a bit more hot, the hairline perhaps. Try and use as little product as possible in those areas. Now for me, some of my redness does spill into those lines, so I'll be putting the product there because of that. But if you can avoid that, just keep it to where you need it, and then you've got less to maintain through the day. Now, one of the things that I've often mentioned that I think is a big misconception, I do think, there's something tickling me here, it's one of my own hairs, sorry. I do think there is a big misconception when we see these claims on products that say, all day wear and this, that, the other. I think a lot of people think that you can just put your makeup on and forget about it for the rest of the day, which, you absolutely can. But if you want it to remain completely flawless all day, it will require a little bit of touching up. So that in mind, if you don't want to touch up through the day, I would find some nice, fresh makeup finishes that look a bit nicer as the day goes on. For example, me, I love the It Cosmetics CC cream. I think that personally, as the day goes on, because it's quite a, fresh finish, a bit like this is now, it just looks quite nice even when you've had it on for a few hours and softens down. But what I'm going to do today, I'm still working with the same little dart, is use as little as I can and lots of powder in those areas. I mean, even in the space of time I've done this video, I need to powder it. But yeah, I'm going to actually leave it at that for my complexion. Now, I'm just going to take some translucent powder around the joins. This is the kind of thing that's going to get a bit more oily through the day, definitely on the upper lip there. And also, I'm going to take the tiniest bit to just seal in what I've put on my eyes. And I know my hair is, just having its own moment today. But something? I was actually thinking earlier on, I can't believe in this heat, this time last year, I would have been blow drying my hair. I don't know if anyone else did this. By the way, while I talk, I'm going to go in with a bit of the Danessa Myricks cream contour. I really love this. I don't know if anyone else did this during lockdown, but I went on a real, just use my natural hair journey. My friend Nalintha, she's one of the QVC models. I remember we had a big chat one night. My hair was just looking terrible and I was constantly putting heat on it to try and smooth it out and nothing was working. And she said, I've just always found it fascinating how much heat my friends use on their hair. Because she said, when I was growing up, we just never used heat on our hair. And my mum taught me to braid my hair when it was wet, to put it in nice waves. And she was just explaining that she always had a non-heat route to get her hair however she wanted it. And then I just kind of stopped using as much heat on my hair and wearing it curly a bit more. And then I got this little Mark Hill mermaid waver think it's about £30 in Boots. And now I always let it dry naturally. I use Olaplex. What are the numbers I use? 6 and 7. Every single time I wash it, and I let it dry naturally with that in. And now I feel like this wasn't the right day to be telling you all about my great hair, but genuinely, like, I barely need to use any heat on it now because it dries into quite a good shape itself. And then I just use that little mermaid wand to sort everything out. I haven't even brushed it today. I'm not going to pretend I have. But, you know, I can't even, the point of the story was going to be, I can't believe I would have actually been blow drying my hair in this heat. Now, as you can see, I've gone in with a bit of that bronzer, and even that, because my hairline is probably going to get sweaty, well, it'll remain to be seen how that lasts the day. The next thing I'm going to go in with is this KVD. This is Luminairy 50. It's like a gel blusher. Now, I have to admit, until very recently, I don't think I'd used anything from KVD. I can't remember using anything from KVD. And then the Good Apple foundation was viral on TikTok, so I wanted to try that. And so I suppose I've started seeing it, you know, on my TikTok and things a bit more. And then the other day, so I tried those blushes then, they're absolutely lovely. I was saying about these in another video that if you want blusher that doesn't give coverage, it's just like a jelly tint stain kind of thing. It looks really fresh and natural. But Nikki Wolf has just been appointed, I can't remember her actual title now, but she's going to be helping them with product development and things like that. And so I bet they'll come out with some really lovely things now, because I actually think Nikki is one of the best makeup artists, one of the best makeup artists. She makes everyone's skin look so fresh and glowy. Look how glowy that looks. I'm going to put a tiny bit more powder here and there. But yeah, I think she'll be fab. Now, I'm just going to speed through a few things because I want to show you my brows in a good bit of detail. I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Liner. I'm topping this up with a Shiseido lipstick. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm using a black brown mascara today to just give everything a nice soft finish. Right, nice few coats of this. This is the Clinique High Impact. Okay, last but not least, I'm still very new to this, so I'm kind of figuring it out with you as I go along. Anastasia Brow Freeze. I know you're probably thinking, how late are you to this party? Everyone's been going on about this for ages. But to be honest, sometimes when things are so hyped, it almost, like, I'll lose interest in them because I feel like I've just seen them everywhere. I've only just got round to trying this, and it's one of the best products I've ever used. So I'm just going to talk you through while I'm doing my eyebrows. As you can see, it's this clear gel, and it's designed to give you that really pushed and brushed up brow finish. Now, I honestly, like, I've tried lots of things for pushing the brows up. And as you know, soap and water is a really tried and tested method of getting this look. But I have to admit that this is, in terms of ease of use, it's so easy. And I'm just absolutely fascinated by how well it does this. So what I'm doing first, I hope you can see me. I'm just, first of all, flattening these brows to my head. Now, I have to say, this is still quite new to me, so I'm still figuring out what works. But I've seen so many videos of people doing their eyebrows, and I think if you go really gently with this, you can make them look fuller and brushed up and all the rest of it without it looking too silly. So I'm just brushing these into place. Now, I haven't pressed too firmly here, but if you wanted them flat to your head, like in terms of flattening actually, that's where I think this really stands out against other competitors, because it will get your brows flat to your head and you can really push them up. Okay, that's our lift. Now I'm going to go in with this glossier brow flick. I'm just going to paint a little bit of this on the back of my hand first. Okay, and I'm just really gently adding a few little brush strokes here. Nothing too much. And you know, the nice thing is, you know, you can always go back in with that spoolie if anything, you know, lands in the wrong place. I'm not going to do too much messing with them, but I'm just going to add, even put it on its side to tint the hairs that are already there, because the gel kind of makes them appear a little bit sheerer, a little bit softer in colour, I would say. Just a quick one, it's a few hours later, I was just sat editing this video and I realised that there was like a big splodge here of things I hadn't blended in properly, and I didn't notice while I was filming it. But I just thought I would show you. I literally, to be honest, I did a bit of this a minute ago and got rid of it. I wish I'd filmed it. The nice thing about using creams and that kind of liquid gel blush I was showing you, in this weather when things are a bit warmer and they are going to move around a bit, they're just nice and soft textures that you can really easily blend. Nothing's dry into a really matte lasting finish because they're all quite movable. I literally just took a soft brush, softened out a few of those edges. You know, even there you can see some of that bronzer is maybe gathering in that hairline, and just buff it out again. And there we go, super simple. This is the kind of makeup I think you can see now that if it does get a bit hot and sweaty through the day, it will all just add to the freshness of it. But I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's any other kind of hot weather favourites that you've got. I feel like this weather is hopefully going to stick around, so I'll be trying to find some nice, lighter solutions. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll chat to you soon.